Hi everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Mimeograph Monday with a Twist. And I'm going to be using one of the new bundles that we can pre-order right now as demonstrators, and it's the Cutest Crew. Oh my gosh, these little critters are so fun. You know me, I love stamp sets with critters on them. So that's what we're gonna play with today. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So I was helping Jeff, and time got away from me, so I'm a little stressed because I'm a little late doing my video. So, so hopefully, so I didn't have time to make even the first card ahead of time, because sometimes I'll do the first one and then I usually kind of wing my twist, but I'm winging both of them. So if you are new to my channel, my Mimeograph Monday with a Twist is basically I'm going to case a card that Stampin' Up! Has done, and then I'll do a twist on it. So I'll be doing two projects. And I'm also in the chat room during the video premiere. So you want to head over there. I'll be with my friends. And if you have a question or comment and you're watching the replay, then just leave it below and YouTube lets me know. All right, so let's get started so I can get this video uploaded. All right, so close your eyes for a second while I get my camera adjusted. Okay, so we are using the Cutest Crew Bundle. And look how adorable these little guys are. And then they have a die that cuts them out, as well as some extra ones. There's these really fun little flowers. You've got some butterflies, got some paws. And then you just got, some little lines, which could, I don't know, maybe they could be like a collar. I'm not for sure what to do with those. It could just be decorative. But it is so stinking cute, and it has a cute font. Have the best day, so glad we're friends. Just a little hello, happy birthday. I mean, all the critters are cute. I mean, even the birds. Look at the cute little birds. All right, so let's get started. Now I'm also using the wood grain, which is one of the new pre-order designer series papers. And because at first when I looked at Stampin' Up, I'm like, oh gosh, where did they get that wood grain? Like I said, I'm running late, and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to dig up, where that stamp set came from. And then my little noggin said, oh, I bet you that's that new designer series paper, and sure it is. So here's the card I'm gonna do right here. All right, so I just have it off to the side. So I did do some of this stuff ahead of time because, like I said, I'm running a little bit late. All right, so this is just going to be a regular size card. And let me get this scored there. All right, and then what other dies am I using? I also used, excuse me, the Stylish Shapes, and that helped me decide that this was a regular size card, because when I look at, and I didn't mean to print this like as big as my head, but it did. I'll look at this like, okay, well, what die did they use? Which, because there's like several circles in here, and I tried that. I knew the big one was too big, and then that was too big, so I ended up going with this one, and that was the perfect one, which also made this die the one that they used as well. So that's how I figure out, the cards usually. Just trial and error. All right, but here are the little wood grain pieces. Oh my gosh, I need to get more of that wood grain because it is too cute. It comes in a bunch of different colors. But look how easy it is, because it already has the wood grain on it. All right, now I am going to stamp the little paws, because they have paws stamped on the wood grain. All right, and I'm just going to use crumb. To me, this looks very much like crumb, so I'm just going to use my crumb. And we're just going to put some little paws walking around on the wood grain. Isn't that cute? Okay. Love it. And it's more pleasing to the eye if you go off the page, right? See, they're like walking on and off. So, all right. Now let's see here. One is going this way. This one goes this way. All right. Now I already cut out my cute little puppies and die cut them out. I stamped them with the memento. And I also got a bunch of these little flowers. Look at these. These flowers, to me, make me think of like the Brady Bunch, right? When they were singing. Because what year would that be? I don't know. You know, we're going to go for a walk outside now. Da 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 da. You know that song? So that's what this kind of gives me the feels for. These kind of cute little flowers. All right, so I just punched a bunch out. But let's color our little puppies. Now I have a bunch of blends off to the side. So I'm just going to grab. So this is dark Bubble Bath, and I'm just going to color them every which way. Let me bring my camera over a little bit. I have stuff everywhere. Okay, that's a little bit better, more even. All right, so I'm just going to go. So this is Bubble Bath because I did use Bubble Bath for these little flowers there. All right, so we have Bubble Bath. I'm going to do a little Bubble Bath there. I don't want to lose my flowers. All right, so we have Old Olive on the leaves. And we were busy yesterday because a lot of times I always pre-tape my videos, but a lot of times I will do it the day before. But we were busy. So this one I'm doing the day of. So I'm just a little stressed. All right, so we have Dark Pool Party. Because I also have Pool Party on here as well. So there's Pool Party. Then we have, let's see, Summer Splash. So I was just kind of guessing on some of these colors. Now, Lost Lagoon is what I stamped my, just a little hello. So I want to have some Lost Lagoon. So we have, this one's going to be Lost Lagoon. Okay. Then we have our puppies to color. So we have Dark Gray Granite. I said I was just guessing. So Dark Gray Granite and Light Gray Granite, and they left a little bit of white here and there on the puppies. Okay, let's see. I have pumpkin pie. So this is dark pumpkin pie. I love they have the little collars or whatever. Not collars, but the little handkerchief on their neck. Sometimes our groomer will do that with Winston, especially if there's like a holiday coming. All right, now I was guessing again on the color, so I'm gonna go ivory and bronze for this little puppy here. So this is just bronze. And then I'll just fill them in with ivory. So again, there's quite a bit of white space on these little doggies, which makes them look super cute, I think. All right, this little guy, what color is he gonna be? Oh, he is crumb cake. So I have crumb cake because I want to say, I mean, I use crumb cake ink, but I do think that DSP that I picked looked crumb cake. Okay, I love this one looks kind of like a little Scotty dog, doesn't he? Because he's got that little bit of a beard. Okay. And then this little one, I'm making him be peach and ivory. Where's my ivory? Because he was a little bit different. This one reminds me of like the kind of dogs the Queen had. What the heck were they? Those lowrider dogs. I can't think what they are off the. I'm not a Basenji. So, anyways, and they're kind of like a cream and with that reddish orangey color, you know, on top. So that's what I ended up using. And then a little pumpkin pie here and there. And then I'll go back in with that light peach and soften that up. But it just gives you just a little darker. And then I will put a little more ivory on the bottom. Because ivory's pretty pale. It just kind of, it's almost like a really, really, really soft yellow. All right, so I think that is enough for them. So now we can put our card together. So we have our little shapes, and they are just kind of like hodgepodgey. Is that the word? I don't know if that's the word. They're just kind of everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to go, this one is here, and I'm going to, where is my glue? There we go. All right, and I love the back side too. All right, so I'm just going to put a little green tip glue. And this kind of goes like that. And then, whoop, I made those feet go the wrong way. So I'm just going to make these feet go this way. All right, and then that one kind of goes like that. And I'm just putting the glue in the center because it makes the ends loose, right? Makes the ends not stick down, so it gives it a little bit of motion to it. And then this one just goes down there. All right, then we have our just a little hello. And I'm going to put that on with dimensionals, or glue dots. And I stamped that in Lost Lagoon. Okay, this is just going to go, all right. there. That looks pretty straight. Then we have our cute little puppies. Now these guys are going to go on with dimensionals. Look how cute. They just sit on there. So adorable. All right. Let me find some baby dimensionals. You know when you want a baby dimensional, all you find is the big ones. And when you want a big one, all you find is the babies. Never fails. All right. So I'm just going to put a few dimensionals around, and then I'm just going to use my green tip glue to glue those little flowers on. So you can hear me hitting. There's a little gnat flying around with all my crazy plants. I do have a little bit of a gnat situation. So I'm trying to figure that out. All right, so look how cute. So now we're going to take these little flowers, and they came out of this, but look what it leaves. It leaves these little shapes, which are so cute too. Like, look how cute those little shapes are. All right, so I just had it all sit there. All right, so I have all my little flowery, splotchy things. All right. And my pick tool, and we're just going to put these around. All right, so I'm just going to put a little drop of our green tip glue, and then I'm just going to pick up this little guy and drop them on there. And then we have bigger ones. So I'm going to put some more green tip glue, and it's like a bigger one of these, and he's kind of stuck up underneath there. So that's another reason why I didn't glue the end, so that I could lift that up and stick it up underneath. All right, and we have a big one here, and that is, and it could have been petal pink, but I did the bubble bath. Just because, you know, when my printer prints, you know, it doesn't always look the same as a computer and etc. All right, so that's there. 1, 2, 3, and then we have 2 more. So we have a big one here and a little one here. And that one is the pink one. And now, I didn't use any of the tiny, tiny, tiny ones. And that pool party one. Oh, now they didn't use any bling, but these kind of are in place of bling, I think, right? Like an embellishment. But look how cute this is. Oh my gosh. All right, so now I'm going to do a twist on this card. Okay, for my twist, I'm going to use some different DSP. So I'm going to use the Made with Love Designer Series paper. I'm also going to use the kitties this time. Let's see. I'm also using the Endless Love die because it goes perfect with that DSP. And I'm also going to use the product of the month for February. I think you can still, not February, January. And as long as these are still available, you can still get this one. And this is just such a pretty greeting set and font. I'm excited to see what's for March, because I think that will start tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the first Tuesday of the month that the product of the month happens. Don't quote me. That's what I'm thinking. There is so many things going on, I cannot keep track. All right, so I'm still doing basic white as my card base. Let me give this a good crease. I did cut myself a couple pieces of basic white One will go on the inside, and I cut myself a strip. I just wanted it to have another layer going on the card. So XOXOXO. This is such cute paper. Okay. And then I'll just trim off the overhang. And I'm going to stamp with, oh, my phone is bing bonging. Apologize. All right. And I want to put a different, I want to actually put a greeting on the inside. And I'm going to use So Glad We're Friends. So let me just make sure it's good and inked, since it's brand new. So glad we're friends, yes. All right, so we have So Glad We're Friends. And I'm just going to stamp it down here. I'll set that aside. All right, this is just going to go here, just as an extra layer. I'm going to stamp hello from That Fabulous Things, and I'm going to use the red. So I've got hello. Okay. Now I already stamped my little kitties with Memento, so let's get them colored. All right, so I have a bunch of different colors here. All right, so I got Timid Tiger and Light Timid Tiger. We'll do a couple little orange kitties. My sister has a couple orange kitties. Or maybe she just has one orange. No, I want to say she's got one that has orange and some other colors. I've heard that the orange kitties are more, they get into trouble more. We have, I'm going to put a little orange or timid on this one too. Our neighbor's cat, which I'm now saying that she's our cat, her son, I'm still saying is a neighbor's cat. His name is Lex, but I call him Trip. And Rex has not been around, so I'm hoping somebody took him in and nothing bad happened to him. All right, so Light Timid Tiger. But they're black, and they are this, well, the mama is the sweetest. I just call her Mama. But her name is really Bagheera. But I just call her Mama. All right, so this is Light Timid. So she sleeps on the back porch at night, but she likes laying up high. So I put a little bed up on the wall where Jeff barbecues, and she can sit up there so she can see like when Winston comes out. But all right, so this is Light Peach Pie, but the neighbors, whose cat she is, but not really, she's mine now, their dog sometimes gets out, and that's why she lives here now, and she'll come over here and scare the living daylights out of them. I'm like, keep your dog home, because she knows that Winston, you know, is all bark, and when she's up high like that, she just looks at him, but she's like, you're down there. You can't get me. All right. And now I'm going to put a little dark smoky, because my sister had this cutest cat, and it had orange and grays and blacks. And oh my gosh, if we lived in Canada, I would have taken that cat. He was so cute. So I'm going to kind of try to make this kitty look like that kitty. So his face is kind of half. He's got some different colors. So this, like I said, is smoky, dark smoky. And then I'll take the light gray granite and just kind of lighten that up a little bit. But what's funny is my friend Marcy, and a lot of you probably follow Marcy's YouTube channel, Stampin' with Marcy. Her son actually got the little cat that I wanted. So I get to kind of still see, see her growing up. All right, so this is kind of my honor of that cat. All right, so I also have to put a little black cat for my Bagheera. So I'm going to use light basic black, and it's pretty dark. I mean, it is pretty dark. Now usually I would use Pebbled Path, but that's not a current color anymore. So I'm trying to use colors that, if you want to do this card, these are colors you can get. All right. And then I want to do the dark smoky. And then this will just kind of lighten up that black. And then we'll go in with that light gray and soften it up. Where's my, there it is, light gray granite, and just soften it up. So she's kind of a bunch of different colors. I'm going to add some smoky, some light smoky in there. And then just kind of leave the face lighter. So just kind of go over with that light. This is light gray, yeah. And what we'll do is it'll go over top of that black and soften it a little bit so I can see her eyeballs again. But it just leaves that black undertone so that you can go, okay, she's kind of a black kitty. All right, then let's do a brown kitty. Now, my mom and dad, they live on a farm, and they get a lot of barn cats. And one time I was there, and they had a brown cat. I don't know if I'd ever seen a brown cat before that. And it was the fattest cat and the sweetest cat, because he was eating a lot of mice. All right, what is this color? This is 400. And I was like, if I lived in Canada, there's a lot of if I lived in Canadas when it comes to animals. I would have had that cat. I would have made that cat somehow figure out how to live in the house, because he was so cool. All right, so that's 400 and 600. So this one is in honor of that cat, which was years ago, and they don't have that cat anymore. But anyways, so this is a little brown cat. I wish there was a way to figure out how to make Bagheera be a house cat, but I don't know if I could do a cat in the house, though. I mean, I've walked her from the front house through the house and out the back door, and she just is like, oh, what am I doing? She tolerates it. But I wouldn't put her down for anything. All right, so let's see here. Now, this little kitty, I'm going to have her be kind of different colors, too. So we're going to go light gray granite and petal pink. All right. And really, I mean, like I say, I'm saying that she's our cat. She's really the neighbor's. Like, I don't know if I went to the neighbor and said, can I just have this cat? Because it's an outside cat. So, I don't think she'd ever do good in the inside. All right. If we didn't have a dog, maybe. But All right, and then I just put some light petal pink, and it just gives her a little different look. All right, let me put a little dark gray granite here and there. Just to give her a little definition. Oh, you guys are so cute. All right, so then let's color our butterflies, and then we can put our card together. All right, so I have bubble bath for our butterflies. And then I'm going to do 2 light Highland Heather. So I didn't use Highland Heather anywhere, but I want some purple butterflies. Whether there's purple butterflies, I'm sure there are. We went to the butterfly place, Botanical Gardens, at the aquarium, and oh my gosh, there were so many. All right, let's put this on the inside. I'm like looking all over for my seal. Here it is. There were so many. There was ones that looked like fish faces. It was weird. There was one that looked like an alien, and you could watch them hatch. It was very, very cool. So if you are in Arizona, you need to check out it's in Scottsdale, and it's the Odyssey, I think it's called, aquarium or whatever. So it's got fish and reptile and a dinosaur thing, and I mean, there's so much stuff. All right, so I'm going to build my card on here, and then we'll put it on the main card. So what I did was it's basically the same kind of layout, but look how cute it is when I did the ones that were in the wood grain. I did it with the DSP with the X and O's and stuff. I thought that looked so cute. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to kind of, put them kind of crooked. We're going to put this guy here, this guy down here, because it's going to be very, very similar. All right, so let's put the middle one on first. And then we'll just put the other ones around it. Oh, look at the stripes. That would have been really fun too. All right, so this is just going to go like that. This is just such cute paper, so make sure you grab some of that. And then we have our little hello. Now I'm going to put this on with dimensionals this time. But I thought this would be a cute card because it's using the Valentine paper. It's using the Endless Love, which is got a lot, like a bunch of hearts. But I always say Valentine's Day, when you love somebody, Valentine's Day is every day. Whether it be your spouse, it could be your best friend, it could be your sister, it could be anybody. All right, so we have our hello. So this card could be all year long. All right, then we're going to put our cute little kitties down here. So since I put dimensionals on here, I'm just going to put my dimensionals on the edges of my kitties. Let's see. Yeah. And then I'm going to put a little green tip glue on this guy because he's going to rest on there. So between the 2 dimensionals and a little bit of green tip glue, that will hold them in perfect place. So fun. All right, and then what I did for the dies, I cut out, because by using the Endless Love, so I do have, now this die, the kitty, where is the Cutest Crew's die? Oh, here it is. It actually cuts out like the cats. See, it cuts out the cats and the dogs and the birds. And what it does is it gives you like a 3D. Like see, it cuts out like a hole for their eyes, and then their little arm can kind of push out, and then their little leg, you know, could kind of push out. So it gives them a little three-dimensional. So I was going to stick them on there. You know, I would color it and everything. But then I was like, you know what? He's just as cute like this. So I didn't. All right. Then I have hearts. So I did the hearts and the butterflies. I did them in red. I've got pool party. I got bubble gum or bubble bath. All right. So I'm just going to kind of put them around like I did before. All right. So we're just going to have a few different things. So let's just kind of go drop some glue around. And we have a heart. Oops, hang on. Heart. I've got glue on my fingers, so it's like, what do you want me to stick to? Your finger or the card? Let me know. All right. Cute. And what would this look like? That looks like I'm swearing, so I'm not going to put that there. Sometimes you can use a shape for an O, because then your eyes like see it. Like, oh, look, they used a whatever for the O. But in this case, I don't think so. All right, I don't know if I'm going to put any of the butterflies around. We'll see. We will see. All right, so I'm going to go heart, little dot, dot. Got a big heart and a littleish heart. I'll put it kind of like this so they look like they're dancing on the card. 1, 2. And there's some itty bitty ones too. I don't even know. Let's see if we can put a little itty bitty one. And I kind of smeared that, but luckily the glue dries clear. So if you just kind of clean it off like that, then it goes away. There we go. All right, but see, look at how small some of these hearts are. I mean, that is like itty bitty. Let's see if I can make the smallest glue dot known to man. Let's see. Oh, and then I flipped my heart. Dang it. Get over. Get over. Oh, it's cute. That little tiny heart is adorable. All right, so let's see here. I've got this orange butterfly. So I do think I want to put a butterfly here and there. So, because you can even put the butterfly onto that. All right, so I'm just going to put a butterfly. I'll plop that right there. I need to be looking at my, oh my gosh, this video is going to be late. Oh my gosh. I need to get this card done. I need to get this card done. Diana, get the card done. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look what time it is. Look what time it is. Oh my gosh. My video. Oh my gosh. It's going to be late. This is what happens when I get stamping. Time just whizzes on by. All right, so I'm going to get this done. I'd be gluing. I'd be still gluing. Oh my gosh. All right. So Look how stinking cute. All right. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so here was Stampin' Up's. Adorable. And then here is my twist. All right, so I need to say, see you later, alligator. Oh my gosh. I need to get this video done. All right, I will see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays. That'll be 3 o'clock, air the time, same, same channel. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye for now.